So we're back with the second cursed scroll. So it looks like we are getting right into the sort of hex crawl adventure, mini hex crawl adventure. The Jurum. Better to spill blood than water. A desert writer saying. Travel in the sands. Roll once a day for wind and temperature. Travel during the day is unsafe. Check for random encounters every 3 hours. Travel at night is risky. Invisibility is reduced to near. Temperature, hot. If PCs travel in hot or hotter weather, they must consume an extra ration that day. Pushed mounts must also consume an extra ration. Inferno. Traveling creatures take 1d6 damage each hour. So yeah, on a bad roll. It doesn't look like you'd come across that too often, but you basically would have to hole up. Wind, driving, travel speed is halved. Navigation checks are 1 step harder than normal. Sandstorm. That's 1d4 days. Don't reroll for wind until it completes. Travel is impossible. No visibility. I think personally, well, and that's not, I mean, if they wanted to try it, I guess I'd let them, but yeah, I'd probably, I'd probably let them travel, but they're like, it's halved again, and maybe, you're unable to actually choose your direction, and it's just a random roll what direction you end up going. But yes, it'd still be essentially impossible. So 102, starting up from the northwest. The Cyril, a nomadic tribe of desert elves, maintains a secret camp here to rear and train their prized silver camels. 2d20 silky, pale-haired cows and their mothers range the flat scrubland. Under 40 elves, vigilant eyes. It's kind of a bit out of place, since normally, at least I think in the other one you did too, you do have a random population. Anything that threatens the camels is met with swift, unforgiving violence. The rest of the 120 wandering elves, led by Noiriel Cyril, return here regularly with supplies. So, far to the south, we have the Worm Trench. 3d6 purple worms flock to these spawning grounds once every month. 4 mothers remain to protect the webby nest filled with hatchling eggs. 30-foot deep, 100-foot long trench. Scattered within the webs are a giant ruby with 400 gold, a ragged flying carpet, and a +2 razor chain called Skin Lasher, whose wielder is immune to poison. The Roskodai views Skin Lasher as a holy relic and would trade nearly anything for its return. So to the northeast we have the Shar Oasis, the most plentiful pond of fresh spring water in the Durham is a fragrant palm-ringed hub bustling with travelers, merchant caravans, mercenaries, and outlaws. Its permanent 60 residents look to steely-eyed Ramir the Lion, a 50-year-old former gladiator, for leadership. The famed Thraxis Arena, which we talked about last time, draws rowdy crowds each night to bet, drink sweet palm wine, and fight. So a bit to the southeast, we have the bones. Bleached bones and skull of a titanic, prehistoric beast lie in the sand. Travelers sometimes take shelter under its towering ribs, stretching colorful claws across gaps to block the sun. At night, the wind humming through its skull seems to form soft words. The bones mark the halfway point on the caravan route between the Shar Oasis and the city-state of Alkesh. Travelers who dare journey north of the bones risk being spotted by the Hawk Bandits in the southwestern Gilzai Mountains. I think a little bit east, but mostly to the north, we have the pyre. A round, elevated altar of crimson marble, engraved with dancing flames, set with 10 fist-sized rubies. Each solstice, the nomadic cereal elves pile it with magnificent jewelry, art, and food, in symbolic rejection of material goods. At midnight, the phoenix erupts from the Gilzai Mountains, swoops down over the valley, touching the pyre with its tail, turning all upon it into charcoal. The surreal tenaciously hunt anyone who they find has tampered with the pyre. So, all the way across the map to the south from the pyre, we have Hamad Camp, a tribe of 200 desert dwellers called the Hamad live near a natural spring at the edge of the salt flats. They tame and hunt wild scrag lizards. They're the only folk in the Durham who do so. They hate and fear the sorcerer in the Saltstone Tower, believing he is a source of recent bad luck, causing foul water, illness, and stillbirth. The real source is a disguised Rakshasa living amongst them. The tribe's leaders, twin sisters Merjana and Delilah, are at odds about whether to attack the sorcerer or offer him a tribute tax. Merjana's eldest son, Omid, went missing in the salt flats a few weeks ago. She's certain the wizard is to blame. So back up north, a bit east of the pyre, we have the phoenix, roosting in the highest peak of the western mountains. It makes flight over the desert at midnight on each solstice. During this breathtaking display, its nest is unguarded for an hour. Within it are 2,000 GP, a ring of fireballs, 3 phoenix eggs, and a genie lamp. A blaze of fiery death awaits a caught thief. Due south, again, nearly all the way across the map, we have Alkesh. The gleam of Alkesh's white walls and brass-plated domes can be seen for leagues. Natural springs, clever aqueducts feed its magnificent hanging gardens and orange trees. Young Shar Yasmilla and her scheming court rule this city-state of 70,000 souls. Anything can be bought and sold here, and any throat cut for a price. The city of Red Sands has 7 districts: Alabaster Citadel, the Spires, the Gardens, the Souk, Silver Street, the Forgotten Quarter, and the Old Quarter. A tavern in the twisting back, the Jewel of Barak, a tavern in the twisting back alleys of the Forgotten Quarter. Melted candles flicker in alcoves. Adventurers fill the cool air with spice smoke and wild rumors. So that looks like our first real proper city we've looked at in this game since I think like any settlement, or there weren't really even, I think, in the other hex crawl, and what groups there were only amounted to less than 100, I think, usually. So northeast from that city is the Ring of Glass Men. 8 statues of humans made of blue-white glass stand in a circle with their arms thrown up protectively. They are a long-lost adventuring party called the Flying Tigers, turned to glass by an ill-worded wish to a djinn. The restoration spell returns them to flesh. They gift their saviors an alabaster destrier and a golden key. Northeast have the Roscoed Eye. Behind a secret door deep within the echoes, a hidden monastery lurks in a sheltered ravine. Its tiered roofs of black wood are bathed in the dim glow of red paper lanterns. 6 Roscoed Eye watch the ravine from spy holes. Each carry blowguns with 3 nuzzle oil darts. Inside the monastery, 80 Roscoed Eye assassins trained from childhood under the half-demon Monazusa and his circle of 5 loyal Oni. Aspirants are tested for many years in brutal trials of pain and self-mastery. Survivors earn the right to eat a single petal of the legendary black lotus flower that grows within the belly of the complex. Roscoed Eye who endure the lotus's racking magic earn the right to leave the monastery. but they must return yearly with an offering or when called upon. Once a decade, the monastery travels for a night to another plane so the cyclical Black Lotus can bathe in the light of the blood moon from its origin world. And this night, it grants one wish when its petals open. From there, we have the southeast corner of the map, Vale of the Moon. A still hushed valley of pale sand nestles between a narrow range of scarlet peaks called the Silent Mountains. Not even the wind disturbs this barren place. The moon is always brightly visible, even at midday. The valley has a warping effect on time. One day of travel within is actually a week on the outside. All fiends in the Durham originate here, slipping into the world between gaps in reality. A random encounter here has 3 out of 6 chance of being with 2d12 Doom Fiends. From there to the northeast, we have a buried pyramid. A crumbling triangle of cut granite reaches 5 feet above the sand. The rest of the 80-foot tall pyramid looms beneath the surface. During sandstorms, the entire pyramid emerges in a nimbus of lacerating grit. A pair of heavy snake-inscribed doors in its side become accessible. As soon as the sandstorm abates, the desert once again swallows the pyramid between tons of earth. Finally, back down by the Vale of the Moon, have the doors. Where the Vale of the Moon meets a silent mountain, a pair of towering doors 60 feet high rest in the rock. Framed by a row of cyclopean pillars, a keyhole sits in the portal at chest height, but the lock won't open by any means other than the golden key, last held by a long-lost adventuring party called the Flying Tigers. Rumors claim a mighty citadel where sorcerers and djinn walk the streets lies beyond the doors, but nobody in the Durham has passed through the silent gateway in 1,000 years. Monsters. Keep an ear to the ground and an eye to the sky. So I'll probably only read a few of these. A Doom Fiend. Demons that appear as clay-like elves with jagged mouths and no other facial features. They can howl. Resting creatures who hear in far 12 charisma or no benefit from rest. Immune one day it pass. Scrag. Tan monitor lizards as large as cows. They scamper low to the ground on wall-clinging feet. I think we're looking at the Scourge. Rise and screams in constant pain. Its brass and lapis scales are choked with a sickly green patina. Blue lightning snaps and coils in the air around it, and thunderclouds follow wherever it flies. But no rain falls from tormented skies. Electricity immune, corruption, swallowed the shield of the Witch King to end an ancient war. The evil spirit inside tortures and corrupts the dragon. And I think beside that, it's just a standard lightning dragon. It's like, that's pretty interesting. I don't think it actually had any of the legendary creature abilities. Fortress of the Burning Brothers. So this one looks like a mid-tier adventure from 4 to 6, which I think the one in the other book was lower leveled. Neither I nor my servants can legally kill my brother. You, on the other hand, Malik the Cunning, Afridi Prince. So it looks like in general, anything in bold is safe, but bulleted details might not be, or well, I mean that's secret, or possibly secret. Background. The Afridi Lord, Pasha Jafar, has twin sons, Malik and Gaspar. Both are as cruel and conniving as their father. By the laws of the Sultan, Jafar must choose one of his firstborn sons to inherit his title. To determine their fate, Jafar has sent them to share the command of the Iron Fortress, a Dwergar mine on the material plane. They know their unspoken task. Prove yourself. The Sultan's law prohibits overt murder, so each brother seeks a deniable way to get rid of the other. Both crave to return to the City of Brass in triumph. Factions. Malik is thin as a whip, shrewd as a viper, wielding sorcery that even his tutors in the City of Brass feared to use. He's in charge of the rich mines and forge works, as well as its Dwergar slaves. Allies are fanatically loyal to him due to his clever use of enslaving magic. He also has an opportunistic Rakshasa ally, Halim, who spies on Gaspar. Gaspar towers over his brother, wielding his black-bladed scimitar with ferocity. He's in charge of the fortress itself and commands the militant salamanders who defend it. Salamanders have sworn an oath of allegiance to the Afrit in exchange for elevated status. They're cut above slaves, ruthlessly loyal to those who guarantee their position. Rashik, Gaspar's salamander spy, secretly lurks in the mines. The Iron Fortress was a Dwergar mining stronghold before falling to the Afrit. It stands in a cathedral cavern deep inside the Howling Caves. Churning rivers of magma flow through the cave, filling the air with an orange glow and suffocating heat. The fortress is made of dark basalt with thick crenellations of blasted iron. Mines. Pitch-dark webwork of tunnels beneath the fortress. Dwergar slaves hack relentlessly at the sharp rock, pulling out rich veins of iron and gold. Dwergar use a vast furnace room to refine the ore, preparing it for its final destination in the City of Brass. The baking heat inside the cramped tunnels is stifling. Some rumors. I got lost in the Howling Caves, wandered down there for days. At one point, I came to a huge castle of black iron sitting on a river of fire. Everyone says I'm crazy, but I saw it, I swear. Haunted mountains are rich with ore. I and my uncle tried to set up an operation in them too. Last fool thing he ever did. Haven't seen him in 20 years. Husband says the belly of the earth is full of flames, says it's where all the creatures of fire and magic are born. Some strange old man wandering the salt flats told him that. So I think we start here, one over that, or, well, we will. Features. Light. Magma fills the entire cavern with a dim orange glow. Walls are high, razor edges. Smooth surface is impossible to climb with bare hands. Towers are 10 feet above walls, razor edges. Iron ladders are removable, connect walkways to towers. Iron crenels cause disadvantage to hit. Interior buildings, black basalt, peaked roofs, 20 feet high at center. Magma, that's going to kill most characters. Instantly. Encounters, risky, check for a random encounter every 2 crawling rounds. Salamander guards. The salamanders look out into the cavern to avoid notice from the outside walls. Guard change every 2 hours. Takes 1d4 rounds. During the rotation, it's easy to avoid notice. Order of battle. Each tower has a brass gong for raising the alarm. If raised, the 12 salamanders atop towers provide longbow cover, and the 13 arm and muster in the courtyard in 2 rounds. A third of the salamanders go to protect Gaspar. Salamanders atop towers remain in position. The rest sweep the fortresses in groups of 3 to 5 for an hour. Intruders are preferably captured alive and taken before Gaspar. Afterwards, the guard numbers double for 24 hours after an alarm is raised. All checks to avoid notice become the highest standard difficulty. So 1, a gate of fire. Glowing river of magma flows beneath the teeth of iron, portcullis and into a shadowy courtyard. 2 sturdy towers flank the river, burning figures move about on top of them. 2 salamanders watch Area 1 from the towers. Their flame-like coloration creates the illusion of fire. Magma completely fills the entrance, leaving no walkway on either side. It passes into the courtyard. Portcullis sits just above the surface of the magma. The winch in Area 2 raises and lowers it. So it looks like we've got those 2 towers. Courtyard. Looming buildings of black stone surround a courtyard split by a churning river of magma. A bridge arches over its fiery path. Danger level is deadly because it's a high traffic area. Bridge. A door guard named Rotted crouches in the shadows under the bridge. Everyone crossing has about a 1/3 chance of hearing his ragged mouth breathing. Rotted. Asthmatic, jumpy, wild hair. Malik sent him to spy on the guard's rotation schedule. If discovered, he turns invisible and flees towards the secret door in Area 13. Looks like you can find a potion of fire protection and some beads of force and some broken flagstone. So it looks like we've got to the east a mess hall, captain's quarters, and barracks. Yeah, just gonna try and kind of hit the highlights where running a bit low on time. So north from the barracks area, we've got the Castellan's Tower and Gaspar's quarters. Where you find Gaspar and his honor guard. Okay, the horseshoes are worth 100 gold each. So 13, sort of in the northwest here, we've got a desecrated temple. Dusting, brooding silence, a toppled iron statue lies amid the pieces of a shattered stone altar. Carvings of lines and knots fill the walls. Statue, broken iron golem, is a 10-foot-tall Dwergar god Dorgrim. Hollow eye sockets deactivated by Efreet invaders long ago. Requires a magical pair of ruby eyes to power it. Malik has found them but doesn't know what they do yet. Gaspar has learned how the golem works from old records and now seeks the rubies. He wants to let it loose in the mines in a horrific accident to kill his brother. 2 days, his salamander spy Rashik discovers the ruby's location. Secret door, rotating panel, only the Dwergar know of it. And close by we have a vault where it looks like they're storing the metal from the mine and the extraplanar portal. A billowing curtain of fire rages across the south wall. Oven-like heat. There's about a 50-50 chance a Dwergar here is tossing 5 gold ingots into the flames. Fire. Passing through the fire deals 4d6 damage. Probably at this level that's survivable. It leads to a swooping ivory and brass balcony in the infernal hot city of Brass. 4 freak guards try to cast all but their own back through. Malik and Gaspar are currently forbidden from passing through. Some more guard towers and stables, and then I wonder if 19's actually not on. Well, I think that kind of gave us a pretty good feel of more standard adventure. Um, we'll we'll probably pick up the third and for now final one of these tomorrow. But yeah, I'm still really just enjoying these. I feel like you get a pretty great amount of content, and it's for the most part, so these are pretty just really well executed. But that's it for today. And yeah, we'll probably start the final one tomorrow.